good? 11.2 DJ Tendonesia. I'm chilling in this motherfucker with Caddy Ron. Makina Muerte in this bitch. What's good with you, man?
What's good, man? How you doing?
Good, man. Let's get right into it. So how did you get the name Cadalack Ron?
Well, Cadalack Ron was basically like, it came to me in a dream. Like, I was in like a blackout. I don't remember much at all, but I just remember the next morning, someone was like trying to wake me up, and they were like, "Yo, Cadalack Ron, get up." And I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And they're like, "Yo, all last night you kept telling us your name is Cadalack Ron, bro." Like, and I was like, "Whoa, it's crazy." So just kind of stuck from there, you know. And like, at least that's how the name originated. The character and the persona that took on a life of its own, you know, at various points later on. There is no more Makina Muerte.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. The powers that be, which were some sort of strange oligarchy of fashionista, like, weirdos. Like, we had like a really cool thing going. Like, we were buzzing super hard. Played Peg Dues Festival in 2011. And then everybody got greedy and they turned into a record label. They started taking 50% of all of our money. And didn't sit right with some people. And before you knew it, there were like 55 people from the crew. And like, only like 10 of them knew each other. And it was just like, it just became too big for itself. It's like the Hell's Angels or something, you know. It's like, at the time when we started coming around to Super Tough or being Makina, there was like, the only thing that was really popping in LA hip-hop was like Swim Team. Like, Thirsty Fish was tight. They're all talented rappers, but I didn't relate to like funny rap or like concept songs about being a fish. Like,
right.
You know, like I grew up listening to like NWA, fucking X-Rated, Burglars, Mac Dre, rest in peace, romp in peace, you know. And it was just like, it shit didn't seem real to me. And so when I started writing, I kind of set out to write more and more like fucked up shit, kind of borderlining like horrorcore. And then my life started emulating a lot more what I was writing about. You know, it's kind of like a life imitating art, which is like ironic to it. You know, just kind of how things went down. So we were kind of set out to like, we kind of set out to bring like danger back into the hip hop scene, like where, you know, you might not be safe at like a rap show. Like, you might get punched in the face if you say something in a battle, or like, you know, if you talk shit on Twitter, like, it would beat your ass, you know? Like, and that was kind of like our mission. It was like real ass dudes that also happened to be really talented. And a lot of them have been around. I mean, we had cats like, you know, Extra Stereo and Lucky I Am.
Cap Callus was on Makina for a little bit.
Briefly, he was. Cap's the homie. I let him stay at my house for like 2 months, once for free.
Nice.
And, fucking, you know, he's a homie. Makina was cool. There was no reason to disband it, really. But I think the main head of the crew, Isaiah Toothtaker, he didn't see it furthering his own personal agenda anymore. So, and he was just like, what's this crew doing for me? You know?
Right.
Because he was taking a lot of our money and investing in his own public, like PR, like literally getting his shit on blogs and like, you know, paying for features from rappers and like.
I want to talk about the Johnny Storm battle a bit. And my question is, were your bars changed from the original format, from the original battle at Vendetta, which didn't go down?
Yeah, it was about 50-50. I got to go out to Orlando. I got a hotel room, you know. I got fucking paid better. And Vendetta ended up sucking. You know, like Vendetta goes down, so like Vendetta almost killed Fresh Coast, at least. The way it went down in Florida was cool, because also I was in Florida as the underdog. You know, I think most people would probably say, oh yeah, Storm, he's like probably better battler than Caddy. And I just think he's kind of dull. Like, sometimes he has bars, but these days, anybody that's doing like name flips and gun bars, it's pretty cheesy to me. Like, if you're not really about that life, like, it's like, you know, it's just like, come on, man. When Thesaurus is talking about like doming you with the gauge, they're like, come on, Pete. You know, it's like, I mean, I was saying that shit back when I battled only one. I was like, I said, you know, now even these Scribble Jam nerds are acting like they're packing the burners, you know? Like, Sharon can have a gun line, you know? Yeah. Nobody's going to say anything about it. And it's like, come on, man. Let's keep it real.
Well, in that same vein, a lot of people think that you're just a racist son of a bitch. But when you listen to your bars, they're mostly about making the best out of fucked up situations. And my question is, what's a good time that you made the best out of a fucked up situation?
Probably like dealing with like my first son was born. I think most people would have like considered that a fucked up situation. And I don't think a lot of people didn't know how I was going to like react and handle it. And you know, like, basically just like motivated me more than anything. I went back to school. I fucking finished my bachelor's degree. I got a fucking 9 to 5. You know, I got off drugs, you know. Not like it's a fucked up situation, but it's like a situation that takes you by surprise.
And if you're not prepared, you will fall under the situation. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You could fold.
I felt as though his caddy flip, you could always, they call him Cadalack because you could always find a nigga inside him. I felt as though that was the hardest name flip that ever hit you. Do you agree? And if you could give us a little light about things that happened that day, just anything that comes to mind about that battle.
Deadman and me is probably like my top 3 battles, I'd say, of my own, just overall. My performance and his. At the time, he was relatively unknown. He was pretty much a nobody. I mean, to be mean or whatever, but I mean, in the battle rap world.
I mean, he talked about how you gave him a chance, and he gave you he basically shouted you out through that whole question that you made the battle possible.
And I had been doing the LA Riot shit with Absurd and booked him a couple times, and I had seen him in person battle against Aspect. And he had a line against Aspect where he's like, man, like, he'd be showing the car with AC alone, trying to change the temperature, and he's like, bitch, leave the AC alone.
Yeah, I remember that shit.
And, you know, it's like, Deadman was one of these dudes who I was worried about. I was like, oh, he's just another fucking gun line. Like, whatever. But then I saw him showcase utility in our battle. Like, because he can be funny. He has comedic timing. Okay. And there was a part in it where he goes, where he says N-word with a hard R.
Yeah.
And he's like, I know you want to say it. I know you want to say it, man. Like, and he's laughing, and I was laughing too, you know, because it was just funny. It was like, at that point, I hadn't really been regarded as like a racist battler until the Fraser's battle.
Oh, fuck.
And so, since that was like my first battle back, like, ever since my Fraser's battle, like, you know, y'all think I'm like a racist asshole, like, or something, you know, like, now you're done battling a black dude, I guess you want to see a racist battle, like, you know, so that kind of became an expectation. It's like, all right, Caddy's gonna go, like, go in on this dude. And I will tell you this, like, my entrance to that battle was originally planned with a dude playing this like African instrument wearing a dashiki. Wow. And like he backed out of doing it because he heard the bars, and he was like, "Oh man, I don't support that shit." You know,
your inspirations are NWA, shit like that. I can't remember the other guys you said. So obviously you're not that racist, but you did on the Dirtbag Dance Show talk about how when you go to jail, especially in Cali, you know, you got to go with your side and stuff like that. What do you have to say to all the black motherfuckers that's watching your battles like, wow, this guy's a racist piece of shit? And my second question is, do you use blackness as a weakness? Kind of like how the Asians and the cat jokes, the cat rebuttal, which destroyed Dumbfounded, he didn't even fucking come back after, you know?
I mean, I don't think how can you use blackness as a weakness and not using the other race as a weakness, you know?
I mean, look, okay, hold on, time out. The other races, it doesn't stop with blacks, because in the battle with, what's that motherfucker's name? Rhetoric, you talked about how his descendants were raped by other people. I was like, God damn, that's just...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's a good point. I think that it throws people off.
And the crowd, it is a quick laugh for the crowd. You know they're going to laugh.
Yeah, well, you can go cruel or you can go funny. Like, you know, saying like I had those punches, I had quick punches on Deadman. Like, Deadman, you're blacker than every member of X-Clan. You know, like, you're blacker than the two that were shitting in the bedpan. Like,
right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, just like quick clip, pop. And then hit him with like the watermelon in line.
Mm-hmm.
And people were like, oh, like, I mean, yeah, like, that was the irony. The Deadman battle was probably more racist than the Fraser's battle.
Yeah, but yeah, Deadman took it better, and he had a better performance than Fraser's, I will say.
Absolutely. And that's why it's a great battle. So I don't think, like, to this day, when I battled Zim last October, about a year ago, and I might have had like one Puerto Rican joke.
Oh, I thought that nigga was East Indian or something.
So did I, but I found out he wasn't. And I written like a whole bunch of like Islamic things, and I found out he was like Puerto Rican. But I had like one, you know, one bar, like, you're greasy Puerto Rican, like, how much pork they're gonna have to feed him to afford him for the weekend, like, and then kind of left it at that, you know, just to like, I'm not a one-trick pony, like, I could come however, you know, like, and that's really that's the most important thing that I want people to know. And I would say about my life is still being affected by the Fraser's battle today. Like, I just had an album taken off of Bandcamp by these people that hate me because of a label I was on. They basically dropped me and just said, like, we don't want to associate with you anymore because you're racist.
Damn.
And I was like, meanwhile, I'm in a crew with Lucky I Am. And when I saw him after the Fraser battle, he's like, God damn, bro, like, you're crazy, though. Like, or look at, like, the A.B. Hoggish battle.
Right.
I got Trayvon Martin lines. George Zimmerman lines.
Can you drop some knowledge on why your head was bleeding during the battle?
Yeah. It got real,
Oh, shit, okay.
It got real up there. But AP9 from Mob Figures, he came up to me right away after the battle, and he just was like, hey, dude. He said, that was some gangster shit, bro. Like, that was some gangster ass shit. Like, there's something to be said about somebody who will say whatever the fuck they want. And, like, and that's why I've striven, strided.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be happy to be remembered if I died today as fucking, that fool was crazy, that fool didn't give a fuck, that fool said all this shit. Kind of changed the game, honestly. Like, gave people another avenue. Like,
yep, multisyllabics. I would say one of my questions, which I deleted, was, did you teach Disaster how to do the multisyllabic rhyme?
No, definitely not. But I think he's probably sat back and I think he saw like that I was handsome in person and was like, said like, he said that I'm the most like a cruelest or racist battler of all time or something. And coming from him, that was
I mean, Caustic is one of the most unforgiving motherfuckers in life, and he gives it up to Caddy. Frank gives it up to Caddy. Deadman gave it up to Caddy. Pause. So you're not that bad.
I mean, none of these guys would be my friends, man. Like, when I see, like, Plex Rock, that's my boy, man. When I'm in Oakland, Plex holds me down, fucking anybody who really thinks that I'm racist because it's the battle shit is just retarded,
But I mean, okay, but when you got locked up, you had to play the game, right?
The game isn't racism, though. What happens, the racial politics that are set in place, especially in California, they create an air of, like, distrust, general, like, dislike.
I mean, yeah, you can't accept food from blacks unless it's sealed.
You can't share it. You can't use the same telephone. I mean, it's straight 1956 for that motherfucker, man. It's like,
damn.
It's like, and moreover, it's like you're being indoctrinated with this philosophy that's not only supported by, if you're identifying yourself as a white person in that county system, you basically really just puppets to the Mexicans,
Right.
So, and they really don't like black people. So they're letting you know, like if you want to ride with us, if you want any kind of protection from us, when the shit goes down, you're not going to want to have the outsiders against you. So it's like you're basically just taught, and I mean, I've been in fucking, I remember my first time at Supermax, like, there was a cipher starting, and I jumped in it.
What?
The whites, when I came back upstairs, like the second tier, like, we were in like a pod with like 2 levels in the day room. And they were like, yeah, you're pretty good, man. Like, but don't do that shit again. You know?
Right.
And I was like, okay. Whereas, like, I've been on the tower side, like in an old county, or in the medical dorm, where everybody could rap with everybody.
Right.
And it was like a lot cooler. And, you know, I'd be rapping with some dude named Shorty and some of the kids from Neighborhood Crips just fucking singing R&B hooks and like, you know, like fucking Sideways from Project Woe was there and like, you know, we were just like, you know, we just set off a session, you know. And that's a lot cooler to me. You know, that being said, like, when I went to Brooklyn and battled, you know, like, a lot of cats like Poison Pen, fucking Pumpkinhead, a lot of dudes held me down out there. And they're like, yo, you good out here, bro. You know? Like, out here you good. For a trip, you know? And I wasn't really tripping anyway, but...
Because they're more battle heads.
I would say to like, you know, I would say to any group of people, is like, if you surround yourself with negative energy and that's what you focus on, then that's probably like the type of shit that you're gonna end up with. That's like manifested itself in my life, you know. Like almost on a daily basis, you know. It's like you choose like how you can turn everything around right now. Or you can fucking keep being a knucklehead. I know for me, like, I don't like being incarcerated. I don't like to fight. Like, I don't like getting punched in the face. Like, that shit fucking hurts. Like,
Right.
I know a lot of people that have been through a lot of like harder shit than a lot of people that claim to be been through hard shit, and they're well adjusted. And there's like so many other outlets for, and I mean, I'm being somewhat hypocritical because like I'm not 100% crime free all the time, but I'm aware of what I'm doing. That it's like affected my life in a negative way. I don't regret anything because I think that's stupid because you know you made that decision at the time. You thought about it. You know, it's not. You can't say like I didn't think it through. It's like, no, you thought it through. You just thought it through, like, you just filtered it wrong, you know? you just try to put some effects on it, you know? Like, all I really want, man, I just want to fucking, at the end of the day, like, it'd be real cool to support myself entirely through music and just be happy. See my kids and chill, fucking, you know, do normal shit.
From Frank Stacks, he said, ask Caddy Ron if I'm his favorite battle rapper ever.
I'd say yes.
For sure. And then he said, after you tell him I literally came on an entire room full of people one time after a wedding.
Well, Frank Stacks is amazing. He had a song he called like Hit Him in the Head with the Garlic Bread. If you've ever heard it, it's like a song about like a food fight at Buca de Beppo or something. It's just like, that's the thing I never understood about El Money. And Frank was like so talented, man. Those guys are so much more talented than like any other rapper out there. But they choose to be like, they choose to do this like satire. You know, it sucks because they could probably be they could probably be the ones to do it. You know, like if anybody could really rap, it's those dudes. And it's like, because I can only listen to this like the joke songs, like, you know, I can't listen to them like 10 times. I listen to them once or twice, and like, there's no rapping tight, but I'm not gonna bump it in the whip after I've heard it a couple of times. I like to hear him, L Money. I mean, I want to hear what those dudes really had to say, you know. But I think they're saying it to what they're doing. I don't think so, dude. Like,
For sure.
there's been a couple of times where I've been on the base and try to convince somebody to drive me in San Jose at 3 in the morning or something like. But that's the thing about battle rappers is like they're generally like pretty tame dudes, man. I got funny Arsenal stories. Like I got stories about how like East Coast fucking drug dealers don't know where to get drugs. I always air out T Moneybags because he was talking all this shit about having dope and you like the junkie in my building and like, and I'm like, all right, what's up? Like, where's the dope at? That fool sent me on a wild goose chase, thinking that I'm not going to take the train by myself to the Bronx to run up into some Dominican barbershop and be like, yo, where's the dope? Where's the dope? Like, or Arsenal and Anzilla walking down the hall of the Jacqueline's Inn and fucking see me and my boys and fucking ran like some hoes, you know?
I mean, is Amzilla Indian?
Who knows? That's the thing. Why are there so many ambiguous Indian black rappers? Like, nobody knows, man. I think India is trying to, like, Pakistan's are trying to, like, infiltrate, you know? They're like, no, if you just talk a lot about the guns, then you'll be a good battle rapper.
Gun bars.
It's always nice, you know? Most of these fools, they ain't with the business, so to speak. I'm not saying I'm hardcore or anything. I'm just saying I talk about real shit. If you ask about me, like, ask Disaster, ask your Baghdad, ask Caustic, ask Lush, you know, ask PH, you know, and then I'll be like, yeah, Ron, that dude's a real dude. Like, and that's all I can hope for is, like, having that respect and just being like, at least motherfuckers know. I was so happy when did that to punch the man off in the face. I was like,
were you at the event?
Yeah. That shit made I almost cried. I was like, yes. Like, no offense to Matt Hoffa, but it was like, yeah, man, hell yeah. Hoffa thinking he can bully around people and shit. Give me 30 days, I could do more push-ups than Matt Hoffa.
Like, what is your take on this whole integration of celebs trying to jump in the ring and shit?
Hey, man, if my homies are making money off of it, then that's great. I was actually, earlier this summer, last summer, like, I was in a meeting with fucking some production company and fucking, it was like me, Daylight, Lush, and like, I was like, damn, this shit, real motherfuckers are like, about to put some bread behind this shit, you know? You know what? I don't even care about me, man. If Lush gets to eat better off of those fools, then that trickles down to me, you know what I mean? The only brand I fuck with right now is King of the Dot. So, if you're eating, then I'm gonna eat. And there's enough out here for everybody, man. I didn't watch one episode of Total Slaughter. I know I went to the King of the Dot event. I think it was the King of the Dot event on Saturday. I didn't even battle and got paid, so Lush is fucking always at my back. Never did me dirty. I seen him do people dirty, but but that's not who he is. He's a fucking rapper before anything else, you know. Lush will outbar anybody, dude. You know, like, it's a shame he only done that one battle.
The Fraser's battle?
Yeah. I want to see, like, Lush versus Organic, you know.
Who's your top 5? if you have one?
Right now, daylight. Let's say caustic. QP. Probably SoulCon. There's some new battler I've seen up in fucking like one of the PG things. I mean, oh, I fuck with Snow. I like Snow.
For sure.
Yeah. But he's kind of jacked my style. But so we were supposed to battle a long time ago.
What, through AHAD or something?
In Arizona.
Oh, wait, that's Domes. I'm tripping.
Don't jack my old style.
Is QP really a pimp?
QP is really everything. You know? Yeah. I mean, he started the whole style that everybody does today. He's responsible for the double entendre, looking triple meaning, name flip, wordplay. That's all QP, man.
Hand gestures.
Yeah, looking at the camera like funny eyes, like. Since he'd be doing that shit too, but they were SONS together.
Right.
But QP could be the best probably to ever do it if he wanted. I just think he's got so much other shit going on.
Yeah, his multitask game is on max.
But I mean, I've rolled around with him in a van in Los Angeles. It was like his friend who was like 600 pounds, like legitimately. And I was like, if you even know anybody that's 600 pounds and like hang out with them, like you're crazy. That shit's like mind blowing. And then, you know, but QP got stabbed out here. You know, that's the fucking deja vu of it. It was like pros versus Joes.
Oh shit, that was like what, 2012?
2012. And
the 818?
I was in downtown. Like,
oh, my bad.
Some of his boys shot up a car, and someone else's boys jumped out and stabbed him up. And he took it in stride. You know, QP's not my favorite dude, man. No homo. He's a real dude. Those, even like the night we battled, we like hung out at my house afterwards. You know. Just got high and chilled.
Which was a pretty good battle.
That battle quite a bit. I think the reason that the new caddy is tighter is because you don't know what you're gonna get. It's like me versus Reverse Live. I came with some multi-syllabic schemes in the middle of there that were like straight out of like grind time, like '08, you know, like. Just to like showcase that, like I could still do that shit. I had some like slept on lines, like, you know, some of these flaming hots, like rip through your chest. Like I ain't talking about bullets or something, like talking about his chest exploding because he's eating too many chips. Like, you know, like,
yeah,
like so. Yeah, it's like, you know, just like. I think it's a much better place to be today. It's just like I just want to do the best I can, and like I had a few weak showings recently, and I apologize to the fans of me, not to the culture really, but to the Ron heads, because you know I should be taking my battles more seriously at least. And it's kind of disrespectful to them because there are people, believe it or not, that are like excited, like, oh, Ron battle's coming out, like, and then I just freestyling gibberish, You know, like, oh man, like,
Right.
that's for the wrong one. You know.
Well, I think his name is Shafir, in that battle.
Fraser.
Oh, okay, my bad. That everybody talked about. You said that you actually shot up Gatorade. It wasn't even heroin. Then you mentioned counter trolling. Does that make you medieval spawn in the battle rap game? And can you speak on the Daylight situation?
Me and Daylight were supposed to battle at his birthday last February, and he was doing the total slaughter shit, so he couldn't do it. I think that the day that Daylight and I step in the ring together, worlds will collide.
Because I do truly believe you'll get your face tatted, and then do a video of you getting it removed.
There's no telling what would happen. Like,
for real.
I mean, I don't want to put too much out there, but let's say, like, I've responded to his blogs in private. I think he kind of even was like, whoa, this guy's a nut, you know?
Yeah.
Like, this is just battle rap, bro. Like, because you watch, he has that one where he's like, come down to the projects, we got it from the low. Well, let me just say, you know, now I got somebody's number from there. Like, I take shit literally. You know, so don't tell me something unless you mean it, dude.
Right.
I'm gonna make sure you tell me the truth. But I hope to see Day in the ring one day. No pun intended.
For sure.
Yeah, she is definitely the best freelance dentist in the game. Doing that, she's running like a multi-tiered company and a record label, Full Cycle Records, which is based out of LA. And she and I have just done a few collaborative tracks, which I think are up on her Bandcamp. At least two of them are.
Right.
Which is Annie Hardy. That's ANNIEHARDY. But she also makes videos. She's like one of the sickest music video directors like I've ever known. She's directed like the last like 5 of my videos. She directed like a bunch of other people's videos too. So like anybody looking for like, you know, affordable video work and in-home studio, like it's all like right there, available like for good rates with a professional. I would definitely holler at her. I think you could just shoot her an email. Yeah, man.
All right, so let me ask you a crazy ass question. Are you familiar with the article that came up some time ago, I don't know, that talked about how white people with recessive eyes are more susceptible to MK Ultra?
Annie, did you hear about this article that said white people with recessive eyes are more susceptible to MK Ultra mind control? I haven't heard about it.
For sure. Well, Google that shit. But look, okay, so just with off the knowledge that you know now, do you believe white people are mind controlled worse than blacks to create conditions that we live in today?
Whoa. Interesting questions. Can I ask you? I just want Andy to hear this.
For sure. You can throw it on speaker, whatever.
Hold on. Ask the question again.
Okay, for sure. Am I on?
Ask it again.
Okay, for sure. I said, do you believe white people are mind controlled worse than blacks to create conditions that we live in today?
Yes. I think black people already somewhat question authority to some degree because, like, most authority is white, you know? But white people see other white people are authority figures, and they're just like, oh, they're just like me. I mean, Obama's black, but, you know, he wasn't there for most of our lives. And I don't know, I was just in Orange County at my mom's house, and I haven't seen her in 2 years. And I was talking about Illuminati shit, and I've never seen anyone get more enraged than like upper middle class white people who you try to talk to about the Illuminati. Nobody's happy with their lives. I mean, as long as they watch TV and listen to the radio and read mainstream media, nobody's happy with their lives. And they don't want to believe that there's inherent evil and that they're being governed by it, that's for sure.
So where does that put us all?
Oh, totally fucked. Totally fucked and in need of banding together. Because I was listening to this video yesterday that was like this Illuminati like plan shit that got written like so long ago, and it was saying shit like we'll poison them and then we'll fucking poison their babies as soon as they come out, and they'll all be under our spell. Never will they wake up to the knowledge that we are all one. Never will they band together and overthrow us, because if they did that, surely they would overthrow us, because there is more of them than us. So straight from the mouth of the Illuminati, that's what we are all in need of doing.
Which we will never do, as long as we are intertwined with the entertainments of the world.
Exactly. As long as we keep worshiping idols. I mean, even like Robert or Cadalack Ron or whatever. Like, I see people, no matter how sub-genre something is, there's always idol worship. Because people don't realize we're all exactly the fucking same. And that is how, I guess that's how people like me and him have had careers our whole life. People not understanding that they're capable of doing the same exact fucking thing. Maybe not as well, but they would have their own flavor, because everybody's put here on Earth to do something creative. And it's not that one creative thing. It's not that, you know, Robert's a battle rapper. It's that he does battle rap and, you know, a whole group of creative efforts. You do it better than anybody else on Earth. And everybody, that's true for everybody. But there's some people who just, like, don't do anything creative at all. Like my dad, he just goes to work and wants to die. And it's so sad. But that's why we're all put here, to do these creative things. Sucks.
Annie. Is your email Annie at Giant Drag or Annie Hardy? Because I'm plugging you on this interview I'm doing. For videos and shit. What?
Well, a lot more than that around. You know, there's an entire world trying to save. If you don't do anything, it's just as guilty. It's the Illuminati.
She's talking about like FEMA camps and shit, you know, like.
I think they're going to be called Ebola camps. Actually.
Ebola camps, whatever. I'm literally saying, like, get guns, man. You know.
Oh, great advice.
I'm serious.
It's not bad advice.
It's not, no. Because when dudes in hazmat suits come trying to fucking take my kids, man, I'm going up Goonies style, Home Alone style, fucking booby trapping the hell out of this motherfucker, and then throw like 1,000 marbles on them, and like a can of oil so they all slip on, they all fall down. We're trying to think of some Home Alone pranks. Like, you know what? If you're on the right side, it doesn't matter, dude. We just had a roommate here who like lost his mind, and basically, he wanted
to know the truth so bad.
Willing
to turn evil.
He wanted to know the truth so bad. He wanted to see the light so bad, you know, that he was willing to fucking go kill people. To fucking
Obama was telling him the suicide bomb.
Because he was receiving transmissions in his head, and this is a guy who works for the government. And he's having President Obama tell him to go board planes and murder people in other states. And fucking, for all we know, he followed through with it.
Yeah, maybe he didn't go to
He's gone missing. I found receipts for tickets like from plane tickets. Like he would tell me, like, I met with Obama yesterday, and I'm like, you're fucking crazy, but I don't know. It just so happens he works for a company building nanotechnology. It's like, fuck, man, this shit's real, dude.
And are you guys familiar? I'm asking you both. Are you familiar with memes?
What's that?
Like,
yeah, like that.
Oh, yeah. Most things are doing more harm than good in society. It's more shit that teaches the collective unconscious to be unaccepting of one another, to be unaccepting of one another, to be like, to differentiate, self from someone else. And and teach people to be mean and judgmental when everything's just there. We don't have to just have judgment on it, It's still going to be there any fucking way, whether you judge it or not, Battle rap, the whole premise of it is like judging people and then talking about it in a funny way. And then you're judging of people and talking about it in a funny way. I think that does the most harm of anything in society.
and so you guys consider yourselves like unlocked, like or not unlocked, unplugged, like from
the Matrix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a little plugged in still.
I stay more plugged in than I plug back in from time to time.
I can't do it because it's so toxic, and ever since I came into my sensitivity, I got resensitized basically, and now I can't do it. I haven't watched TV in 2 years. I don't listen to the radio. I don't even look at mainstream news media because it's pointless to me. I watch YouTube videos.
Right. Which are still to some degree now being controlled. It's kind of like battle rap. You can tell that battle rap is like an anomaly on their radar, and they're trying their best to throw a tracking device on this motherfucker. I swear on everything I see.
No, everything's on their radar.
But to the point where they have whack-ass Bow Wow sitting front and center trying to peep game, like trying to soak up the knowledge of battle rap. Like, it's just, I don't like it.
I'm sure it's so that they can reproduce it. This Eminem show is going to be the first, but it won't be the last, If they see people like it, they'll keep going forever. So they totally turn it into a complete joke, like everything that they mainstream. Hip-hop culture, rock and roll culture, devil worshiping. It's just another way to get people to worship the devil, basically. That's what it all comes down to. That's what people don't really realize is beneath all this Illuminati shit. Like, these are Satan worshipers. These are people who have gotten us all to unwillingly or unwittingly lead a Luciferian lifestyle and got us all to believe that the devil doesn't exist. And I never really thought my spiritual awakening the end point would be kind of like a not religious, but like spiritual one. But more and more, actually, Robert's the one who kind of helped guide me that way. It didn't help that he was possessed by a demon when he and I started dating, and there was suddenly a poltergeist in my house. But I was like, what do we do? How do we get rid of this? And the only way was to be talking about Jesus. And the demon's still in him, and it is a mighty one too. This demon is Lucifer's dark twin, which kind of insinuates that Lucifer is like the light one, which is scary. But yeah, it's the demon of excess. It's the perfect Cadalack Ron demon. The demon of excess. More sex, more drugs, more money, more everything.
She has attempted to exercise me.
Few times. Few times.
Has it at least been suppressed to a reasonable level?
No, not at all. No, he needs to go to rehab, and then it will be. Because before he relapsed, he was doing steroids, and I was noticing a change, and that's when, poltergeists started rapping on the walls, which is kind of hilarious because poltergeists are called the rapping ghosts, because they rap on the wall. And just using needles to shoot up steroids was enough to kind of open it up and open him up to relapsing. But, the craziest part is that when you're doing an exorcism, it's just like a trance channeler. The demon can speak through him using his vocal cords, and he won't even remember it.
Right.
And the demon told me, he goes, this is what we like to do to him. And we, by the way, is like demon talk. I always wondered why he would always say, like, yeah, we were at this rap battle. And I'm like, who's we? You and who? And he'd just be talking about himself. And I guess the legion of demons inside him. But anyway, so the demon said, this is what we like to do. We let him get his life back together. He starts doing well, and the people who care about him come back, and then we love to take it all away. We take everybody who cares about him away. We emaciate him, and we bring him right up to like death's door, but we don't let him die either, because that would be too much relief. And I was like, oh my God, this is so insane. People don't realize that this shit really happens and is real.
This is the same demon that gave you the name Cadalack Ron, right? If you didn't remember when you woke up.
Oh shit.
That's a good point.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That has to be it, huh?
I mean, look,
Yeah.
man, I'm a different type of interviewer, thorough radio. I don't work for anybody. We ask the real shit, you know what I'm saying?
That's true, right there.
That's real, yeah. I mean, like, I never could explain why I just woke up one morning and was like, and, you know, I've had a lot of people tell me, like, hey, Robert, you know, Cadalack Ron is going to kill you, man. Like, my father,
And he is going to kill you.
you know, they say, you're not Cadalack Ron, man. You know, you're Robert Paulson, man. When you come home and I'm in the streets running amok as fucking Cadalack Ron.
Wait, is that your real fucking last name?
Yeah.
Robert Paulson? Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Till this year, I didn't really understand, like, the severity of, like, some of the decisions that I'd made, like, earlier in life. And, like, selling my soul to the devil. And, like...
That was a bad choice.
You know. I definitely wish I could have had
The
that
worst
back.
part of that choice was that you didn't ask for anything cool. You just asked not to go to jail. You could have asked to be rich and famous, and you would have got that. But you just asked to not go to jail.
Well, I asked to not be... I asked to avoid, like, a prison term. The craziest thing is that for 8 years since I sold my soul, I wasn't arrested one time. I wasn't ever even detained or like interrogated, and then I accepted Christ again that week.
Well, you went to church.
Oh yeah, I went to church for the first time in like 10 years.
You took the sacrament or whatever.
I took communion.
Whatever.
And that night I got arrested by the police and went back to jail.
Once you decide to go to the holy side, you're going to get tested almost immediately.
And that's how, yeah, that happened. It was crazy. Annie! Is your email Annie at Giant Drive or Annie Hardy? Because I'm plugging you on this interview I'm doing. For videos and shit. What?
There's an entire world trying to save. If you don't do anything, it's just as guilty as the Illuminati.
She's talking about like FEMA camps and shit, you know, like
I think they're going to be called Ebola camps.
Ebola camps, whatever. I'm literally saying like, get guns, man. You know.
Oh, great advice.
I'm serious.
That's not bad advice.
It's not no. Because when dudes in hazmat suits come trying to fucking take my kids, man, I'm going up Goonies style, Home Alone style, fucking booby trapping the hell out of this motherfucker, and then throw like 1,000 marbles on them, and like a can of oil so they all fall down. We're trying to think of some Home Alone pranks. Like, you know what? If you're on the right side, it doesn't matter, dude. We just had a roommate here who like lost his mind, and basically, he wanted
to know the truth so bad.
He
willing to turn evil.
He wanted to know the truth so bad. He wanted to see the light so bad, you know, that he was willing to fucking go kill people. To fucking...
Obama was telling him a suicide bomb.
Because, yeah, he was receiving transmissions in his head. And this is a guy who works for the government. He's having President Obama tell him to go board planes and murder people in other states. And fucking, for all we know, he followed through with it.
Yeah, maybe he didn't go.
He's gone missing. I found receipts for tickets, like from plane tickets. Like, he would tell me, like, I met with Obama yesterday. And I'm like, you're fucking crazy. But I don't know. It just so happens he works for a company building nanotechnology. It's like, fuck, man. This shit's real, dude.
And are you guys familiar? I'm asking you both. Are you familiar with memes?
What's that?
Like,
yeah, like that.
Oh, yeah. Most things are doing more harm than good in society. It's more shit that teaches the collective unconscious to be unaccepting of one another, to be unaccepting of one another, to be like, to differentiate, you know, self from someone else. And and teach people to be mean and judgmental when everything's just there. We don't have to just have judgment on it, you know. It's still going to be there any fucking way, whether you judge it or not, you know. Battle rap, the whole premise of it is like judging people and then talking about it in a funny way. And then you're judging of people and talking about it in a funny way. I think that does the most harm of anything in society.
and so you guys consider yourselves like unlocked, like or not unlocked, unplugged, like from
The Matrix?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a little plugged in still.
I stay more plugged in than I plug back in from time to time.
I can't do it because it's so toxic. And ever since I came into my sensitivity, I got resensitized basically. And now I can't do it. I haven't watched TV in 2 years. I don't listen to the radio. I don't even look at mainstream news media because it's pointless to me. I watch YouTube videos.
Right. Which are still to some degree now being controlled. It's kind of like battle rap. You can tell that battle rap is like an anomaly on their radar, and they're trying their best to throw a tracking device on this motherfucker. I swear on everything I see.
No, everything's on their radar.
But to the point where they have whack-ass Bow Wow sitting front and center trying to peep game, like trying to soak up the knowledge of battle rap. Like, it's just, I don't like it.
I'm sure it's so that they can reproduce it. This Eminem show is going to be the first, but it won't be the last, you know? If they see people like it, they'll keep going forever. So they totally turn it into a complete joke, like everything that they mainstream. Hip-hop culture, rock and roll culture, devil worshiping. It's just another way to get people to worship the devil, basically. That's what it all comes down to. That's what people don't really realize is beneath all this Illuminati shit. Like, these are Satan worshipers. These are people who have gotten us all to unwillingly or unwittingly lead a Luciferian lifestyle and got us all to believe that the devil doesn't exist. And I never really thought my spiritual awakening the end point would be kind of like a not religious, but like spiritual one. But